Hey guys, so this is my first facecam video, and I'm just trying something new out because I can't always be doing animations because they take a lot of time and I have to put in a lot of work to get those to where I am proud of them and in a state where I can show them to you guys. So today I'm going to be doing kind of a review thing here on Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda. And to start off, I'd just like to give some background information. You play as Link, the main protagonist in all of the Legend of Zelda games, and you wake up after having lost all of your memory in a battle with Ganon. You find a tablet called the Sheikah Slate, which acts throughout the game as your map and helps you use your runes, which are like special powers that the character has. There's a lot of really good characters in the game too, and I think that that's one of the more time-consuming aspects, probably, of the game, is getting to know all of the characters and using your connections to the characters to complete the main quest and side quests. And I think that, honestly, Nintendo did a really good job with this and making all the characters have their own quirky personality and every one of them having funny dialogue. Except for Link, ironically enough, has no dialogue throughout the entire game. I also think that one of the other things that's really good about it is the map. The map of Hyrule is very intricate and has a lot of cool features and a lot of interesting places. All the scenes in this game are amazing to look at and pleasing to the eye. So, another thing is shrines, which are, if you've never played the game, they're these buildings that allow you to transport yourself to any area of the map where there is one of these after you complete a puzzle on the inside, similar to the other Legend of Zelda games. Another thing that's really cool about the game is that pretty much all of these shrines have an interesting puzzle and aren't really that difficult per se, but are interesting and take some thought, which is something that I really enjoy about it. One of my last points about the game is that there are a lot of side quests that you can do if you reach a challenge that is hard to overcome. That there's a lot of other things you can do in the game when you're not focusing on kicking Ganon's butt. So that's a really good part of it. And all the cities have tons of characters and little Easter eggs you can find. So that's another thing that I've found fun throughout the game. There's also one of my favorite things when you're bored, and or a main part of the game is keeping your health up and being able to be ready for any fight that comes your way. So one of the things that helps with that is making good food for you to heal with while in these battles and at low health. And literally, the game devs decided to make a theme song whenever you cook a meal. And the fact that someone took the time to compose a literal track for cooking in this game just is another quirky thing that I got a kick out of while playing. I could go on forever about these unimportant things and just little quirks about the game, but there are two things that I'm going to mention that I think could have been better about the game. I found really that the boss battles weren't really as challenging as I thought they could have been, because there's a lot of build up to these fights and it takes a lot of skill to get to these fights, but then it doesn't really take that much time, and I was expecting a lot more out of them, and I thought it would be more of a challenge so you could get that relief of defeating something that you thought you couldn't, and they didn't do a very good job with that. And then the other thing, spoiler alert, so if you haven't played the game and you don't have the DLC, Link gets a motorcycle if you beat the Champion's Ballad DLC. And just kind of ruined, I think, the theme of Legend of Zelda and how it's always been a non-modern Nintendo-inspired map and every location with even the style of their names. None of them really scream to me that it's modern enough for there to be a motorcycle involved, and I didn't think that it was necessary. And honestly, it's not that much better than horses, so I mean, it's convenient, but I don't think that the reward for completing the entire DLC with the amazing characters that there were in the DLC and getting to know the champions so much better, I think that it was kind of unnecessary to put in a motorcycle. Another thing that I'd like to talk about is there are extra things you can buy for the game to improve your gaming experience. I've bought all of these, and the couple things I'm going to mention. The first is the Nintendo Wii U Pro controller. And I think that it does help gameplay a lot, and I've used it ever since I bought it, and I think it's only like $20, so it's a pretty good deal, and it's really light and easy to control with, and then I didn't really like the whole idea of move the gamepad around the whole time just to see where you were, so I think it really helps, and it's a good purchase, so I would recommend that if you don't already have one. It really helps with aiming too, especially with the final boss at the end of the game. The second part of that fight has a lot of aiming with your bow. So I think that that is a good addition to your gaming experience. And then they have made 2 DLC packs afterwards, and I have bought both of them and thoroughly enjoyed the extra storyline, the extra diving deep into the characters, and I would definitely recommend getting those. You can buy an expansion pass for both of them for $20 as well. And I really found those to be a great use of my money on this game, and there's a lot more you can get out of it if you just fork over a little bit more cash. And they took pretty much 2 entirely different routes, I think. The first one didn't have a lot of story, but it was difficult and it was a challenge, and it could get you a lot of reward if you are able to complete all 3 parts of the Trial of the Sword. I have not yet completed them. I have gotten the first one and then decided that I was going to wait for a while. But the Trial of the Sword is pretty good, and the Champion's Ballad is awesome. I loved the story, and that one wasn't as difficult, but it got you way deeper into the champions, and there were some little challenges, and it was a very time-consuming process. It took me about, I'd say, 10 hours to complete it. It was pretty good. I would definitely recommend them. So that's pretty much all that I wanted to talk about. I really like all of these aspects of the game. I think it's a great and well-made game. It took Nintendo 7 years to make just the original game without any DLC, so it definitely has a lot of time put into it, and I think that they did a very good job. So I would definitely recommend picking it up if you haven't. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like this kind of content and you enjoyed this sort of review style video where I just talked about my opinion on things, then make sure to comment about that below. Leave a like if you want to get more of that content. Subscribe so you can get notified when I make another one of these videos. I don't know what my next video is actually going to be, but I'm thinking an animation maybe. Thanks again for watching, guys, and bye.